Okay, so the time is 12:14. I apologize, I'm running a little bit late. I got in a slap fight with Perforce trying to get rid of some of those unnecessary bin and debug directories, but everything's all verified and built, so no worries there. I think there might be some residual stuff, but I gave up on it. So just to start things off, I will run the solution. You can see what I've got going on, and I'll dive into the details. So we've got all the aliens in the right order, in the right grid. They're all animating, moving in lockstep, opening and closing, and there we go, hard mode. So I thought about after I finalized my build, I could have halved because I couldn't get the movement synchronized exactly perfectly with bouncing off the edges. I thought about, instead of just moving it down 2 rows, I could have cut the amount I moved it down in half, and I'll show you what I mean by that in just a little bit. That way it doesn't move down 2 rows of sprites instead of 1, because I set the depreciation value on the Y positioning to equal the height of each sprite, so it would move down 1 row. But anyways, so where do I begin? The last time I was trying to play catch up. I had been sick for pretty much 3 days. I was also running a little bit behind that. I have been going very hard since that time. Excuse me, I implemented pretty much all the essential features up until the milestone. I've been at the library for, honestly, like 7 hours a day after work, and then like 13, 14 hours on weekends, so it's been pretty busy. Let me just open everything up here. So, a lot of the design decisions I made were pretty reflective of the sample code. I did take some liberties here. I implemented the game object. Excuse me. Implemented the S-Link, the timer management system, the sprite proxies. Pretty much went through and typed all the code by hand based on each sample code drop. And then I went back and refactored things as I needed. I also did leave a few things out, like some of the data dumps. I prioritized things a little bit because I was trying to play catch up and they weren't really necessary. Some of the key distinguishing features of my project here. Here's kind of my latest implementation. So I ended up implementing, to get the sprites to move in a march rather than a glide, I implemented this alien grid command class. Sorry, I'm going to take a drink here. Oh, excuse me. This class basically mimicked the animation sprite, where I worked in the move grid. I had to do a typecast here, just because of the nature of the command implementation. I had to start with an alien base, and then down here in the actual execute, I typecast it to an alien grid, so I could execute the function. Let's see. Nope, I have a lot of leftover code. I need to do a lot of refactoring here, but so right here is where I implemented the PCS tree in order to get the game objects moving all perfectly. I have the alien factory working in right here. I changed the I iterator to alien count just to better reflect what its actual function is. I set different factories for each row of aliens. And then I also worked in the move alien grid command right here. As you go down here, I also worked in the alien grid into the time manager as a time event. Scroll past all this. I was able to take out a lot of the proxy code that was included in the update, since I encapsulated all that into the time event, so that was pretty nice. This is also similar to how the proxy was set up with this for loop here. So I use a lot of the same functioning in order to get the rows down that was included in the proxy sprite sample code. And I worked that into the factory, so that was pretty nice. As I was going through this, I did a lot of the front work and trying to get all the sprite animations working for the different alien types, which saved me a lot of time towards the end. Because even with the proxy, I was able to keep the animations going. I'm going to take another drink here. But yeah, I mean, it's been a great learning process. As I've been going through, you can see here my debugger notes. This isn't self-generated file by Visual Studio. I've been taking some very rough notes of all the problems I've been having and all the debugging issues that I've been having as I've been writing code by hand based on the sample. So you can skim through that just to kind of peer into my own brain and learning process. But yeah, this has been a great learning process for me. Even though I'm only just starting to be able to get comfortable chopping things up and moving things around as I see fit, just typing the code out by hand has been extremely beneficial. I started to notice as I was making more managers and more node classes, a lot of the code has been just duplicated over and over again in different ways. Not even including the abstract methods, which I know is just kind of the nature of abstract class, but I plan on doing a huge refactoring because a lot of this code I feel like can be pulled out and extracted. Because one of the biggest signs of smelly code is lots of duplicate code. So that's kind of the direction we'll be anticipate taking things in the future as we start to work in the sprite boxes. So I hope you enjoy, and thanks again.